Definitely not something you see every day in Albuquerque. Wet roads. At least we get a double rainbow out of it. Pretty awesome. Look at how vivid. Can't complain. Absolutely cannot complain about that. So later on today, I'm going to Shakespeare in the Park. Albuquerque is one of the last places, the last cities in the United States. I think there's only like 14 cities left that do a free Shakespeare in the Park every summer. And I'm gonna put together a little picnic. And one of the ingredients in my picnic, I think I'm gonna find here. Immediately, this is the stuff. Papa Jack, this is for you, baby. I got most of the stuff that I wanted, and now I need to find a small piece of brie and some rice crackers. Let's go. So I'm on my way home and Nick's like, hey, bring me home some lunch. And I know he's been watching the World Cup. He's been watching Fifa. And I figured I'd stop and get him a World Cup collector's cup because, you know, we need more stuff. So yeah, I have order TH40.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent, please.
Thank you. He's actually not coming with me to the Shakespeare in the Park thing tonight. So bring him some lunch and then I'll pack my picnic basket. We actually have a friend who's at the Germany game right now, Germany and Curacao in Houston. And it's mind-boggling because I can't imagine what the energy is like in there. When I left to start running my errands, Germany was up 3 goals to 1 for Curacao. So I don't know where they're at right now. Hopefully I'll make it home before the total end. I had a feeling Germany was going to be a blowout, but I don't know. If you're a soccer fan, do you feel like the World Cup is like watered down with teams? Let me know. I think I'm going to have to steal some fries. Hot and fresh. McDonald's fries are so terrible and so delicious. Can't stand it. Hey Nick, I got you the FIFA cup meal and I want you to open up the cup because it's like a surprise cup. Will you open it?
Yeah.
All right, incoming. All right. So they put your Sprite inside the wrapped cup. There you go. So it's a surprise.
It's a surprise cup.
It's a surprise cup.
Enjoying the wrapping. Okay, whatever.
actual drink, but the surprise cup is here.
Yeah. So let's see which one you got. Is it sealed?
It is sealed.
All right. So did Germany end up winning?
They won 7-1.
7-1.
As expected.
Oh man. So when I left, it was 3-1. Curacao had won, and I didn't realize. Oh, what'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? I like the hamburger on the side.
I enjoy the hamburger as well, stealing the trophy.
Let me zoom in on that. Very cute. All right. Well, you got a new camping cup.
Very nice. That's what we need, more cups.
Too many cups.
I know.
Are you familiar with Dîner Blanc? I know this is such a weird little segue, but things like this happen to me all the time. So today I'm putting together a picnic. I'm breaking out my Dîner Blanc picnic basket and accoutrement for the first time since Dîner Blanc was here in Albuquerque, and that was going on 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even longer. And today I break it out to pack my picnic lunch for Shakespeare in the Park. And today we find out that Dîner Blanc is coming back to Albuquerque. So check out my my cool picnic set for Dîner Blanc. I have my white picnic basket, my white plates, my white silverware rolls made out of bamboo, 2 of them. I have my Tiffin boxes from India. These are really, really cool and useful, and I'll show you how those work in a second. And I've got my thermos with 2 cups. One goes on the bottom and one goes on the top. Really cool design. So this is actually kind of fun. Kind of a cool angle in my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. I want to show you my Tiffin boxes from India. So this is a way that when we were in India, a lot of people had their food, their lunch delivered on a bicycle from someone who delivered homemade meals to their office. And I bought some while I was in India, and these work great inside my picnic basket, and they are very aesthetic for the Dîner Blanc or any picnic. But one of the most special parts about these Tiffin boxes is that they come unclipped, and it just looks like there's like 4 chambers in here. Well, there are. Here's one, totally empty. They're stainless steel too, so that helps a lot. But underneath each segment, there's a little plate that separates the first item from the second. So when they stack on top of each other, they stack with their little plate. See, there's a little plate. This one's already filled. I made cookies. And then the bottom one has a plate. And I have some edamame in here. So you can put together a very well-balanced meal and have lots of variety even in just one Tiffin box, which I just think is absolutely genius. Such a good design. So this is my large one that has 4 chambers and 4 little plates. And then see, it all clips together and it's in this little handy dandy container. So I need to fill the other 2 spots, but this one is a little mini one. This one only has 2 chambers. Oops. But it's got the lid on the first one with a little plate in between for the bottom one. And then here's my medium-sized one with the lid, with the first one, a little plate, and then I've already filled this one with pretzels, oops, the little plate, and some pistachios. This Tiffin box is what I usually take on picnics, and they fit perfectly inside my picnic basket, and it's beautiful for the display table for Dîner Blanc. Let's talk about Dîner Blanc for a second. So Dîner Blanc was created back in France. I don't even know the year. I mean, you can look it up. Dîner in French is dinner. En blanc means in white. So it's a white dinner. It's basically a white party. And it's been adopted all over the world now. It's completely international, where if you get on a wait list and you are selected to purchase tickets, you pay a nominal fee. I think our tickets were $35 when we finally got off the wait list. And you basically buy a ticket and you commit to wearing a perfectly optic white outfit from head to toe, having white accessories, purchasing a table of a specific size. It's like a camping table, but it has to be a specific size. And you have to bring your own chair. So it is a commitment. You are carting all of your stuff to the depot where you board buses, and the buses take you to a secret location where then you set up your tables and chairs and your food items, and it's in this clandestine, secret environment that you don't find out about until you get there. And it just becomes this unbelievable party. And it's a pop-up party out of nowhere. It could be virtually anywhere in the city, and you just don't know where it's gonna show up or where you're going to be taken. And it just is magical. And everyone dressed in white, and all the accessories that you bring, everything's in white. It creates this unbelievably uniform, just beautiful scene. And there's lights and DJs, and we had fireworks, and I've been to 3 of them now, and they haven't had it in Albuquerque for many, many, many years. The unbelievable thing is that it's kind of like a word of mouth kind of thing, where if you don't know about it, it's not really advertised. So you kind of need to know about it or know someone who knows about it to get you on the waiting list. Nick and I were on the waiting list for 3 years before we got our first invitation. So we were waitlisted forever. And once you have attended a Dîner Blanc, that kind of puts you in the automatic list for to repurchase for the next year. But every year there's only enough tickets for, I don't know, 1,200 couples or maybe 1,500 couples. It seems to grow a little bit every single year, but depending on the venue, they can only hold so many people. And obviously they don't want people crashing it. So it's super secretive, and you literally don't know where you're going. Even your bus leader or team leader doesn't know where you're going until that night. So it's really, really, really special and really secretive. And I love that element about it. It's very speakeasy-ish, you kind of have to know, if you know, you know, kind of thing. And I've been very, very lucky to have experienced this a couple of times. I just can't wait for it to come back to Albuquerque. And we just got news today that it's coming back to Albuquerque. So super excited about that. Can't wait. I just think that it's really amazing that it's today that we find out that it's coming back to Albuquerque. And it's today that I'm breaking out my Dîner Blanc picnic stuff. Stuff like this happens to me all the time. And Nick's like, it's just a coincidence. I'm like, it's way too coincidental to be a coincidence, in my opinion. All right, so we've got some crackers that'll go with our brie. I've got the grapes washing in the sink, not in the sink, in a bowl in the sink. And I need to dry them off and take them off the vine so they're easy to eat. And cut up the brie, cut up the guava. And I think we're just about ready with our picnic. I also have some pepperoni that I can throw in there, so that's good. And some jerky from our trip back east that I haven't opened yet, so that'll make a good extra and include some protein, which is good. All right, so let's fill the small one. I just love that they have their own plates, because then we can serve on them. And when we get home, everything goes in the dishwasher. It's so cool. Pepperoni. And I think I'll put the brie in here. Okay, so I've got a piece of brie here wrapped. Thinking about unwrapping it and cutting a new triangle for it so I can save some at home just in case we don't eat it. This is a pretty big hunk of brie, so we don't probably need all of this. Okay, so I put the brie in here, and this will be refrigerated until I leave so that once I get there, it can start its little ooze. So pepperoni and brie, locked and loaded. It's not going in here yet, it's going in the fridge. I think we're gonna do some dried mango slices with tahini and then the grapes. Sounds delicious, right? I thought you would say that. These are some mango slices that I bought at the El Mesquite Market. Actually, I think it's called El Paisano now. It used to be El Mesquite. So it's not called El Mesquite anymore. We have El Mesquite markets, we have Paisano markets, and we also have Pros, and Pros is now called El Super. So we've got lots of really awesome, authentic Mexican supermarkets around here, and it's great because they take care of the community. When you want something authentic from home, they've got it. You know, I didn't make room for the guava in honor of my grandfather. I mentioned earlier. So my grandfather, there's lots of stories about this guy. He's a very, very interesting international man of mystery. And his family was from Mallorca, an island off of Spain near Barcelona. Barcelona. And he spoke Catalan, which is the dialect of Spanish that did have that lispy accent, Barcelona. And he lived in Cuba, he lived in Venezuela, he lived in Spain. He was international man of mystery. Lady in every port, something like that. So I'm removing some of this so I can add some of his guava in with my mango slices because I want to honor him. Today, or actually yesterday, was the anniversary of his death day, and I didn't get to have any guava. It was one of the things that I remember most from him. It was sitting at the dining room table when he lived with us, and he would eat guava on these really cool water crackers, which I couldn't find. Even the Mexican market didn't have them, but he would eat guava on these water crackers, these white water crackers. And he would also have a jar of hot peppers, little tiny yellow hots, like a jar of peppers, super, super spicy. And he would take a pepper, wipe his forehead because it would make him sweat, and then he'd take a cracker with some guava on it. And I remember that distinctly when he lived with us, and it's why on his anniversary dates, I usually get some guava and some of those hot peppers, but today we're just sticking with the guava. So here it is, it's basic, it's from Goya. They also come in tins, but the tin just was a large quantity of guava paste that I knew I wouldn't get through completely, and not that I'm gonna get through this is quite a bit as well, but it comes in like a brick, and you can slice it into whatever size or shape you like. And so I'm just gonna cut some slices, and I'm gonna use the cutting board that my cousin Dan made for me. Thanks, Dan, if you're watching. I love this cutting board, I use it all the time. Dan and I share this grandfather, Papa Jack. And so I thought it was very fitting that I use this cutting board today. Let's slice up some guava paste in honor of Papa Jack. Now, one thing I will say about this guava paste is that it's incredibly sticky, So, not sure if you can see it, but here it is on the slab. And I'm just gonna slice a few slices because we don't need that much, and I'll add it to my mango slices chamber. Maybe you can see this a little bit better. All right, let's get to it. Actually, I think I'm going to cut here. And then cut vertically so so that the slices are a lot smaller and easier to deal with. So. Now, if you don't know what this is and you see it, it probably looks like liverwurst. It's absolutely not. It is a delicious sweet and sour paste. It pairs really well with soft cheese and some crackers. It's got a really interesting texture, and it's very, very aromatic and flavorful, and it makes your taste buds water, I think, because of that sour feeling. If you like tamarind paste, you would probably like guava paste, but this to me is Papa Jack all the way, all the way. That, and of course he would make us black beans and rice, and you know, he would also make us other foods, but this is like, this is his ultimate snack for sure. And just cutting this makes me want to have a piece, so I think I'm gonna have to slice myself off a small piece. I can't wait for the picnic. So cheers. Here's the Papa Jack. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. You should totally try some of this. It's excellent. Okay, guava paste and mango in here. Meanwhile, we have to attend to the grapes. All right, I have a clean Turkish towel right here. And I will take my soaked grapes, give them a little rinse. Let's dry them off and take them off the vine. I think there's probably an easier way to do this. Probably TikTok knows how, but I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Clean hands and plucking grapes. The grapes this year have been really, really crunchy, and I love a good crunchy grape. They're so good. Oh, crunch, crunch! And head over to Shakespeare in the Park, baby. Last little plate, and the grapes, and the lid, and we'll lock her all up and get ready for this picnic. And this is going in here. Perfect. Look at that. Well, wouldn't you know, on my way to Shakespeare in the Park with my beautiful picnic basket, and it's pouring like with thunder and lightning and all the things, and New Mexico needs it desperately, so I'm not going to begrudge that, but my picnic dreams have been dashed, at least for tonight. So instead, I'm gonna meet my friend at Jinja. So let's go to Jinja. Plan B. Okay, so I know we got rained out, but check it out. We got an amazing, amazing rainbow. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, I didn't record anything in Jinja. It just wasn't appropriate and it was impossible. I met with a friend. We got to enjoy, catch up, have some laughs, have some drinks, have some great food. Ended up with a spearmint mint for the end of the night. And now I'm driving home. I hope we get some more rain tonight. And I hope you had a wonderful evening, regardless of how the night turned out. Stay delicious, go drink some water. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.